Hello everyone, I don't know if this is gonna get posted or not. So we're gonna see how that'll go. Look, to be honest, I'm actually really scared right now because tomorrow evening I have to speak at my primary school graduation. They've asked me to come along and talk, to do a speech. It's exactly what this is. So I'm just going to do the speech now, and I might actually post this, and then I might rant at the bit at the end about something that I saw earlier. Not really rant, just kind of talk about it. Okay, Stafford grad speech. Good evening, parents, staff, and the graduating year 6s of 2024. Around this time, 6 years ago, I was in this exact same position, speaking to a bunch of grade 6s at graduation. Whilst it was my own cohort, I'm finding some strange parallels between my life then and my life now. Then, I had graduated school. In the new year, I was going to go into a very different type of schooling, and I was standing at the graduation, about to give a speech with a feeling of anxiety, nervousness, but also a very quiet, yet still very much there, sense of determination. Now, I have just graduated school. I'm about to go into a very different type of schooling, this time being university. I'm speaking at a graduation, and I have that similar feeling of anxiety, nervousness, but also a very quiet, yet still very much there, sense of determination. I remember primary school very fondly. I remember how it felt, being here in your shoes, saying goodbye to the sweatily awkward discos and bush dances. Do you guys still do this? Walking the 2 kilometers in cross country every year, volunteering to deliver things to the staff room, praying to God that I'd luck out and get a biscuit, answering the classroom phone when we absolutely weren't supposed to. I hadn't realized it then, but the best of my time at Stafford consisted of the little things. Not history, never ever history. Look, Mr. Lewis, power to you, but my God. Anyways, I guess I should give some advice for high school. Now, my number one rule would be, do what you want to do. I can remember many times where I did something because my friends were doing it and I inevitably got into trouble, or I took a subject because my siblings had done it and I didn't really know what to do. Because of this, I would encourage you to stop and think, is this the right thing to do? Is this what you're passionate about? Following your passions, I'm sure you'll come to learn, is the greatest choice you can make. It's one that I've made, and I've had the pure joy of seeing my friends make it as well. And it starts at school. I remember doing drama lessons in this very hall back in primary school. We were just making little scenes to show to the rest of the class, but I got bit by the acting bug and I did drama all the way throughout high school. In the last couple of years, I built on my creativity and was a part of the Queensland Theatre Youth Ensemble this year, and we did a production of the play The Importance of Being Earnest. There'll be a photo projected up of that. And that's me in the red. Don't worry, you can laugh. I have also written 2 plays, winning an award at Queensland Theatre for the first one. I say this to say that you need to follow your passions. There will be times when the slightly more rational choice will spike up, but when you're choosing what to study, what to do with your spare time, who to hang out with, going with what you want in your heart of hearts is the absolute best way to go. And even though you're learning that from me now, I should also say that you'll learn that from experience as well. So another piece of advice would be, from me, would be make mistakes, as many as you can, but also learn from them. Another piece of advice that I'll give you is that I would encourage you to find the thing worth fighting for. I'm lucky to be the son of my parents because they instilled in me a deep sense of social justice, and because of that I have no problem naming the causes that I want to fight for, namely the environment and LGBTQIA+ rights. I can fight for these causes because I read the news and stay engaged in what is going on. I would encourage you to stay locked in with the news as much as is good for your mental health, and never lose your faith in the good of humanity. At Stafford, we were taught to critically analyze a piece of media, or a book, or anything really. Use those skills. Call out bigotry. You will never, ever regret doing it. It sounds simple, but calling people out when they're doing something wrong is something that is never going to get easier as you get older, but is going to get increasingly more important. Get used to doing this and do it whenever you can. One last thing before I wrap up. Hold close to your true friends. They will take a while to find, but when you do, be close with them. Some of these people may be from Stafford, some not. It doesn't matter. These are the people who will get you through this next period of your life, as well as your family. Seek support, whilst also supporting them. In the words of Bono, we get to carry each other. I've come a very long way from this day in 2018. Next year, I'll be studying film at Griffith University. I'm going to be a filmmaker when I decidedly grow up. The path ahead of you is long. It dips and dives, and there are times where you'll want to turn around and give up. But just past that bit, there's some relief and good times. There's going to be some forks in the road, difficult choices to make, different friends cropping up for different seasons of your life. Just go with your gut, and no matter what, keep walking. You're going to make it. Thank you, and congratulations. Woo! So that's the speech, and it was actually twice as long before that, and I'd written some more insightful stuff, but they asked me to cut it down. So yeah, that's like 5 minutes-ish. I'm mainly anxious because I didn't really enjoy, I kind of enjoyed primary school. It was a really multifaceted experience for me because, it was such a small cohort, and some of us were, some of the people were really nice and stuff, but some of them were dickheads, and, I'm not going to name names, but whatever. And it's just I miss it sounds so, I sound like such a teacher's pet, and I absolutely was. But I absolutely do miss the teachers because they were very nice people, most of them. And it's nice that I'll get to see my grade 5 and 6 teachers when I go back. But it's just fuck. I was depressed in primary school, which is crazy to say. I'm just gonna make this a little bit. There we go. I was depressed in primary school, which sounds crazy to say, but it's I kind of was there was just from grade 4 to grade 6, the monotony of it and going to school every day, doing the same stuff every day, really kind of sunk its teeth into me, and it really was a very difficult thing to shake. And I was so relieved when I graduated because yes, it was an anxiety-inducing thing to go into high school, but that was also something new and different, and so that was kind of what happened. And so for grade 7, everything was kind of new, and then for grade 8, everything was new again because of COVID. But then with grade 9, I got used to the monotony again, and that really sunk in. So for grade 9 through to halfway through grade 11, it was just depressing again, and it was the exact same kind of depressing as grade 4, 5, and 6. Not so much grade 6 actually, because things were really different for me then because I was school captain. But it was only today that I really kind of it clocked for me that it's I was depressed in primary school, which is crazy because I was 9 and I was depressed. How the fuck does that work? I don't know. It's weird, and I think that's why, part of the reason why I'm so anxious about going back, and that's also why I'm anxious about going back to get my Nordic too. I graduated 3 weeks ago, and I'm already oh god, I don't want to go back there. But no, I'm thinking about it, and I'm really anxious about going back to primary school, because it's this was not, even though some of the teachers were quite supportive and I had pretty good friends, it was still a place that was not good for me a lot. It was when I was really starting to get my first sense of anxiety, not anxiety as in being nervous about something, but anxiety as in the medical condition anxiety. And I didn't know what it was, and I didn't really have words for it, and so, it was a really confusing and not very easy time. This got not dark, just weird real quick, but don't worry about it. And so now it's I'm having to go back there literally for an hour and a half, not even that long. But I'm having to go back there, and it's just like, it's a really weird thing for me to reconcile. I also am like, it's so weird because, I mean, I mentioned it in the speech, but like, in a way, I kind of feel like I'm exactly where I was back like in 2018. Because like, I'm going back into school next year, school being university, and I'm speaking at a graduation, and it feels weird. I'm kind of getting like deja vu, but like, also in the sense like, I have my own life now. It's weird. But on the topic of having my own life now, I literally, like, the thing that caused me to start filming this vlog was that I was on TikTok, and again, it was Brittany Borowski, who, I saw this audio, not this audio, it was just like a little excerpt from one of her podcast episodes, and she was talking about, like, figuring out who you are outside the realm of social media. And she said, like, if you feel a bit lost, and if you feel like you're not really sure about what's, you know, around you and what's going on, she said, you know, just take a week off social media. Just delete the app off your phone of Instagram and TikTok, and just take a week. Just take a week, see how things go. It's going to be uncomfortable, but just see how it goes. And really interrogate, what are the things that make you you, and what are the things that, you know, you used to enjoy before that recreational time was taken up with Instagram and TikTok. And for me, that was reading. I haven't really read much in a while. Like, I start books and then I don't really finish them. I got 30 pages into Fourth Wing. It's an incredible book. It's so gripping. Barely read any of it, you know? And I do feel a sense of guilt over that, I guess. I feel like I'm not really being very kind to the 10-year-old who used reading as an escape from the stuff that he was feeling day in, day out. And so I think, I don't know, I haven't really done much with my friends, and I just, okay, truth be told, okay, here's the thing. I was late out the other night, because I was out seeing a play in the city with my friends from QT, not QT, Queensland Theatre, and I was not good with communicating with my mum what time I was going to get home, so I got home really late, and because I was also, there were communication issues with schoolies as well, she grounded me, so I am grounded for literally the first time. She does not ground people. She doesn't ground my sister, doesn't ground my brother, never grounded me before, never been grounded. But she was like, look, I don't know what else to do right now because I'm mad at you. Not really mad at you. Anyway, so I'm grounded right now. So if you haven't seen me for a little bit, that's why. I've been grounded for about a week. And she was like, it's not going to be for very long. It's just until she can, like, just figure out how we're going to make sure that communication stays good. So it's not bad. My mum's not a psycho. I'm not 12. It's just, you know, it's fucking week 9 of term 4. She's a teacher. She's busy right now. She can't afford to be thinking about what's going on, so she just decided to grab me. Anyway, and yeah, so that's why you haven't been seeing me, and I really miss my friends, and I really want to talk to them. Well, I can talk to them. I really want to hang out with them. Particularly people that I haven't seen since graduation, I think. But it's just like, yeah. So I want to be able to just get out and live my life now. That's really it, to be honest. I'm thinking I'm probably going, but the annoying thing is that I can't really communicate with my friends, well, through text. Yeah, through text. There's literally not, that's so fucking annoying. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't just, like, I can delete social media for now, for a week. I'm just gonna do it for a week, but also, like, okay, the idea of, like, interrogating, like, all the things that, like, make me me and everything like that, and, like, going off social media and trying to get back into reading, it just feels like, not just reading, but, like, just, like, doing things analog. It just makes me feel like I'm regressing, and it makes me feel like I'm just like retreating into the child version of myself, even though there is nothing more childish than wasting your time on a phone. And like, there's like this whole, I've been waiting so long to be free from school so that it can just be out of my mind, so that I can focus on being the best version of myself that I can be. And like, you know, that means that like going to do the things that I love doing, which is like hanging out with friends and stuff like that. And that means going to movies and dressing nice and like all that stuff. And I feel like social media has always kind of played a part in that, because it's like, where am I going to post it? And I know that that sounds so stupid, but it's like, it's something that I've always been aware of, is how I put myself across on social media. Because like, the very frustrating thing nowadays is that like, someone just sent me a snap. The really frustrating thing nowadays is that like, yeah, oh god, this sounds so dumb to say, but it's like, if you don't have a social media presence, you're not really viewed as like a person, you know? Like, you're not really seen as someone of substance and interesting. And I know that that's like so stupid, and I shouldn't be concerned about that. But it's like, I want people to know, like, I know that I have substance and that I have character and that there is interesting stuff in here and here. But like, I want people to know that. And like, people don't really pay attention to that unless it's kind of like given a little bit on social media. And unfortunately, that's just kind of the time that we live in. And so you can either stray away from it and be like, I'm not going to get in that circle. Or you can lean into it and be like, you know what? This is something that people do. I might as well give it a shot. So that's just frustrating. That's like kind of like the double-edged blade of like shutting off social media, is that like, I always kind of expected it to play a part in my future. And I know it shouldn't. I know that it's not good for me. But it's just like, it's also like hard to like have a good relationship with it, because it's like, it's addictive. It's addictive. Like, there's no like, you know, having it and not being on it or something. And it's like, just, anyway. It's just frustrating. It's frustrating. I just want to be out of the house and, you know, catching up with people. It's fine. It'll be fine. I'm just in my own head about stuff. But like, it's just frustrating, because it's like, I finally feel like I have my life, you know? Like, I finally, sorry, I'm kind of leaning forward and it's really annoying. Okay. I kind of like feel like I have my life in my hands now. It didn't feel like that for a long time. I feel like there are certain people who can kind of like have a life and be at school as well. I am not, was not, will never be that kind of person, except for university. I'm not that kind of person. School was really not a nice place for me to be at. Not because I was getting bullied or anything, but it's just like, I fucking hated it and it drained me, and so I just didn't like being there. And that meant that like, by the time that the weekend came, I couldn't really do stuff that like made me like feel like my life had a lot of substance. And so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to like wait till school finishes so that I can like live more purposely and do more purposefully, and just do more stuff that reflects how I feel as a person and stuff like that. It doesn't make any sense, and it's all a bit obtuse, but anyway, living my life the way that I want to live it, basically, was something that I could not do in high school, but I feel like I can do now, and I feel like I have been to an extent. I do feel like my prefrontal lobe cortex, whatever it is developing. I feel like I am kind of getting my shit together more. I mean, I'm gonna miss being a kid, but I also feel like I'm kind of ready for early adulthood in a way. But yeah, I don't know. I just want to get out of the fucking house. That's basically it. And I know that there are things that I should do that would make my life better, like deleting social media and everything, but it's like, I just want people to know that there's like, that I'm an interesting person, and I know that like I am an interesting person, and I know that my friends know that, I hope, but like, I don't know, it's just like, social media, when you're posting something, just kind of feels like you're sending a beacon out, you know, from a lighthouse, and you're just saying like, I did something of note, I did something that you should see, I'm relatively interesting right now. And it's like, it's so shitty and so cheap to like kind of like, you know, make your life into those little vignettes, I guess. But I don't know. I also think, I know that I'm overthinking this, and that it really actually isn't that deep, but like, it just feels like it is. It always feels like it's that deep. But I've just been cooped up, and I want to get the fuck out and do stuff with people. And I want to see Wicked. I haven't seen Wicked yet. It's not even FOMO. It's that of anyone, I should be seeing Wicked, and I'm not fucking seeing it yet. Like, ugh. And I've had almost everything spoiled for me. Okay. I know that, like, I know the story. I know everything. I just didn't know that Kristen and Idina were going to be in it. Like, obviously I knew that because they would have been, because they have to, because they're fucking the original witches and everything. But it's just like, ugh. I want to see it, and I haven't. And at this point, I don't even care who I go with. Obviously, I want to go with the Glinda because I'm an alpha, but like, you know, not fucking picky. I just want to see fucking Wicked. I want to see it so bad. I've been waiting literally more than a decade for this movie. Check the fucking receipts. I saw it in 2014. No, 2015. It came in early 2015. So I've been waiting nearly a decade for this. 9.5 years to see one fucking movie. And then the one chance that I actually get to, not the one chance, like the chance that I actually get to see it, I go to fucking schoolies, and then I get fucking grounded, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna break something. And I don't want to wait till it comes out on streaming. I want to see it in a movie theater. I want to see it in a movie theater, and then I'm gonna see the second one on the day it fucking comes out, because it's gonna have For Good, and thank goodness. And goodness knows the wicked's lives are lonely. Goodness knows the wicked die alone. Anyways, that was my singing. Thank you very much. Maybe I'll post the longer version of the grad speech, because it was actually pretty good, and I wish I could have done it, but I can't. Sucks. So, yeah. I am gonna turn this off because I think I have washing to put up. And I hope you guys have a great day. If you even watched it this far, this is 24 minutes now, so I'm sorry. But like, okay, my view with these is that, like, obviously you don't have to watch the whole thing if you don't want to, but what I would expect, kind of, if you were to watch it, is like, you just like put it down and then you go do something, and you're like listening to it as you're doing something, because this is like, for all intents and purposes, a podcast. So yeah, and also we need to catch up on the podcast with Ember. Ember, what the fuck are you doing? I'm kidding. But no, we need to get guests back on that shit. Yeah, anyways. Mwah. Love you, bye.